This is CT. It is 9:51 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, I I I just wanted to talk about something real quick, something that was on my mind that happened uh like yesterday. Um, well, actually, there was like this 3D artist, and he was doing something with Jessica Alba. Like he was doing like a 3D model of Jessica Alba on on using the program called ZBrush. Um, I also, I have like some, I've used that program before and everything, and just to get like the experience and all that. Um, to be honest, I'm planning on starting back with all that stuff. Anyways, so with this, with this artwork, that he did, it didn't. What happened was that he didn't look like. I mean, the thing is, the model didn't look anything like Jessica Alba, and so I pointed that out. So that was like the night before, so it was kind of like sometime when I saw that post. It was sometime around like 10, 11 p.m. Um, and I said, it doesn't look anything like Jessica Alba at all. And but the thing is, it started looking like somebody else, somebody who I know personally. Um, Basically, like I commented on that part too, saying that that apparently your 3D model looks like um, a a person that I know who has um, who's a single mother, has 3 kids, and basically in the nursing field, and she so I just left it at that, and I went to like go and sleep, and then yesterday it happened, and when I woke up, I saw, I checked my messages on Facebook, and because that's where it was posted. Um, so this guy, so the artist, he was like, okay, and this other guy, he was saying something about how stupid my post was and everything, and I'm asking him, like I could have said something different. I could have, whatever, instead of like things. But he took the whole thing negatively, and I responded to him like why I did what I did, you know, like the situation and everything. So, you know, so I woke up. So that time I woke up around it was three. It was like around 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and like I usually get go to sleep like around this time and wake up like between 3 and 5 in the morning. So you know, I had to like change uh my sleep pattern. My sleep pattern since New Year's, that because it was messed up. So I had to change that back to my regular routine. Anyways, I told them I have no idea what's so stupid about, you know, my like what my about my comment. I don't know what was so stupid about it, and well, like what is so? I was just being honest. What was so stupid about what is that stupid about being honest or anything? Like there's nothing stupid about it. Um, and the thing is, like the artist, the 3D artist, you know, well, with this guy who commented on me, he was saying something about he was saying something about that about like giving feedback, critique, whatever, right? That was basically my intent, to do so. But like I have like a lot of friends, and I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, so it's kind of like if I didn't do like a quick reply, you know, I would have lost it. I wouldn't have been able to find it later on. So it was a lot better if I did do a quick reply, and what was just only what came to my mind around that time. Um, the thing is, I I don't know, I was just baffled, by that, and like how he just comes out of nowhere and starts saying things like, "Oh, my comment was stupid," and whatever. I mean, the artist himself, the 3D artist himself, he didn't say anything about you know with anything with dealing with feedbacks or whatever, feedback, critique, what have you. He did not even post nothing like that. All he did was post up a picture of what he was doing. That was it. And, what, and I've seen his celebrity, artwork before. The 3D, his 3D models, and like his Will Smith. That looks really good. You know, so I mean, in order to try to capture the likeness with Jessica Alba, uh, there was a little bit of a bit of a problem, and he had to do some like fixing. He had to do some tweaks to it. Um, the thing is, like, from the image of Jessica Alba, because he shared that along with the 3D model. He, the thing is, like, her head, like, she was facing like how my tune right here is facing you, but the thing is, her her head was turned to the right. So with the 3D model, it was kind of like making her ears, it's like kind of like, I don't know, like stick out like Dumbo or something. Um, and then the face wasn't the actual like structure. I mean, that he had the like the shape of the head right, on the top, the top portion of the head, but like around the jaw area, he had to like move that up. He had to move the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the jaw. He had to move that up a little bit, and like shift the that right side, because that was pretty much the problem. He had to shift the right side, of her face, like inward. And like when I mentioned that had the ear sticking out like Dumbo, well, the right side was actually a problem because it was poking out, and he has to move that inward. So he has to do some adjustment. So, I mean, I said, I told this guy that, I mean, I was explaining things on paragraphs upon paragraphs and everything when I was like fully refreshed, ready to, talk whatever, and I just kept explaining a lot of crap. So, anyways, um, uh, so another guy starts coming in, and he's like, well, maybe it's the way, uh, well, it's more like, how you came out to be, like how you said it or whatever. I mean, it was a little confusing, but I think this other guy was kind of like trolling me or something like that. I don't know, because I had to explain him, like kind of like the time difference from him, because from these other guys, because they're like, well, the guy who was attacking me, well, he was somewhere in the Netherlands. He was some like intern from the animation studio or whatever, like a former intern or something. So I don't know what's going on with him these days, but he, yeah. So this other guy, he was like a younger guy or something like that. He just didn't like understand the whole concept of how the health thing works when you don't get enough sleep or something. And I literally had to like, go on my way to explain this sort of thing to him. So I didn't know what to think about in that moment. But so I did it anyways. I was like, okay, I'm. Cool with that. Um, and then you know, he kind of was like, okay, so he doesn't understand what the excuse was. I was like, well, the excuse was, well, around the time I had to go and sleep. That's to be fully rested. And so I could be a lot more thing and everything. I could just go right ahead, do my critique. Um, just tell, just give him like what my real thing is. So I mean, and then I said that, okay, well, I did it. Okay, he had put up an update. The 3D artist put up an update, an updated version of it. So it was like he had like the lighting on, and everything was there. You know, everything was there. Um, but then he he kind of stopped talking. He was like, he kind of stopped talking. But then the guy who who's like kind of like attacking me earlier, he came back, okay, and it was kind of like we were just kind of like duking it out or something like that, right there, and under my comment, so um he was he anything I don't know, everything that I had said to him was just nothing but bullshit. And um and he just read me the wrong way. And this guy was like, he like his spelling and punctuations and all that other crap, it wasn't there. um and I that's the one thing I noticed. And he starts coming up with all this crap. I mean, yeah, one thing he did say that I could have said this, like, it's a great start, da da da, like, but to work on it a little bit more, and everything. Yeah, he does have a point there. I'll give him that. But I only commented that time what was on when I saw it, because anytime I'm on Facebook, I only comment on things that catches my eyes, and that's just it. Um, so yeah, I didn't know like what the deal was. I didn't know what his deal was, because he thought like with that kind of comment, I attacked him. Well, I attacked the 3D artist himself. Anyways, he, I don't know. I kind of don't know what to really like talk about with this guy, because he took things so negatively. He thought I was attacking the 3D artist. The only thing that the 3D artist did, he only gave that guy only one thumbs up. But every comment that I made, he gave me thumbs up. And that was crazy. Because I told him, like, look, I told him, like, I had to repeat myself like 3 times in the damn post. You know, my replying to these guys 3 times that I said, okay, well, you see where I don't know if you see where it says update and stuff like that. I posted something. I took the time. I did. That's what I did. So, for me, it was kind of like, what's your argument? Like, what's your case against me? And, that's I didn't understand. And I didn't understand that at all. And he just kept assuming things. He was just jumping the bandwagon. He was like, you know, all over the place because he said something about like my kind of comment, and with his single mother and everything, and uh, he was saying about like someone could make sure like see that interpret that as her being a slut or something. I was like, she's not a slut, dude. Okay, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go right ahead and I'm not gonna go right ahead and explain her situation to you. I mean, that's that's basically like her business and whatever and everything like that. I mean, the thing is, he said that yeah, it's possible that you do know someone that looks like this and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, if you do a celebrity, if you're trying to 3D model a celebrity and stuff, and it looks like and it doesn't look anything like the celebrity, but you're gonna go right ahead, but it looks like somebody else, or whatever, that you have something to work with there. It's not a bad thing if it looks like somebody else. You know, it's not. So I don't get what this guy, why this guy was being salty with me or anything. I just don't know. And um, he was going off the roof with me and everything. I just couldn't believe that. And I I threw things back in his face, you know, and like going on from there, like he I did like a comment, and with again with all that other stuff, and then I comment on his thing about his spelling, punctuation and stuff, and he was saying something about how this group page was, and it's like when I've been in that group before plenty of times, but the thing is, many people that post up stuff that they're working with usually go right ahead and ask for the to get some feedback, to say like critique or something, that they usually do that. But this artist, he didn't, the 3D artist that we're dealing with here, with the Jessica Alba thing, he didn't even say anything about that. He just only posted up that picture. That was it. That was it. And then he, you know, so so anyways, I literally just went on ahead and I did exactly that. Because he was telling he was just twisting things. He was just basically thinking too negative, um, and all that stuff. And I was literally calm the whole time. So I don't know. I don't understand how like he was being or what was fueling him, but I think he was doing that to himself by trying to make my day real bad yesterday, and everything. This was going on since morning to the like afternoon to the evening, well, evening time, and um whatever. So I like so then he starts commenting. Well, like when I told him about his spelling and punctuation and stuff, he was like, uh, you are thick, you are thick headed or not, you know. I was like, I'm not. It's not like I'm being thick headed because he was like saying all this kind of crap like, oh, it's not, I don't know. Towards the end, he was just basically playing victim or something, which is pretty funny at the end. I was like, well, I'm sorry for that, but you're look, man, you're the one who attacked me for thinking that I attacked the 3D artist over there, and then all the other crap and whatever. I mean, because in that comment, I was like, well, he said something about um feedback, critique, build up, whatever, but he didn't like put like a dash between build up, like it's supposed to be like build dash up, like kind of like one word. And he was spelling like being, which is he was spelling it Beeing, and I was correcting him. I said no, it's spelled Being, and then he was like saying something with then, you know. And for me, I'm thinking he's contrasting it, So I'm like, look, man, if you're gonna contrast something, it's not then, it's than. It's not THEN, it's THAN. Which when I read it did sound like he was contrasting something, and yeah. So I was right there telling him all that kind of thing, and I was like, I'm sensing some commas somewhere along the lines with that thing where you're talking about the group. I didn't have anything against it, but it was just exactly that. So I mean, yeah. So he was just basically playing the victim and whatever, and he admitted that he does have that sort of problem, and like that spelling punctuation thing and all of that stuff. And he he was like, you were being thick headed, or whatever. And I was like, he just kept going on, man. He just kept going on, and I I basically told him like, man, I'm sorry, that it's not like I'm being thick headed, but I'm sorry you had that you have that sort of problem. I'm not gonna judge you since you came out with it, or anything. But the thing is, you attacked me for thinking that I attacked the 3D artist himself about whatever, and then this sort of thing happened, you know, and I don't know. I mean, I'm I didn't know what else to say except for that, and I told him my situation, like, okay, well, I have epilepsy, you know, and then that's it. So I mean, but it was like whatever, you know. That's what it was to me, and but at the same time, it's like, you go ahead and attack somebody, and then at the end, you're gonna go play victim, and whatever. That doesn't make any sense. I think I would say that if you were to do that, you were in the wrong right there. You know, and I don't know. I mean, the one thing this guy could have done was try to find it somewhere in his heart, saying like, okay, maybe I am actually telling him the truth, that I didn't attack the 3D artist. I didn't do none of that. But I had to kind of like keep repeating myself over and over again, with that, and it was kind of stupid that I had to. And yeah, then I don't know, like he says something about he, our, she. I was like, it's he or she. As to correct him right there. But yeah, man, like I don't know, man. Uh, he, but I was all like, you know what? Let's just call it. Let's just agree to disagree, and that was it. But the thing is, he he blocked me and stuff like that, so I won't be seeing him anymore in those comments or posts or whatever. So I was like, whatever. But the other guy that didn't understand, like, how health, like health situations work, or when it comes to sleep or whatever, he didn't do nothing. He didn't put me he didn't block me or anything like that. He didn't do none of that. But yeah, um, but yeah, man, like, yeah, I've been honest the whole time with that post and everything, like, and I don't know why it's like you don't want to go to like a different thing that was like on the bottom that had nothing to do with my comment. Had, he didn't they didn't even bother going to a different comment where the 3D artist put up the update, and I mean, I think that's kind of stupid, you know, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, with that whole thing, I I wasn't cursing, I wasn't doing none of that, you know, and I was thinking, but this other guy just kept cursing about and taking things the wrong way. He just read me wrong, and like, I don't know, that was kind of stupid. That I would say that was really stupid. Um, but yeah, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me yesterday, and everything, and so I I so earlier, um I told my parent about it, and I showed her the picture, what this 3D artist had, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it does actually does it really does look like her," which it is crazy, you know. But yeah, like I said already, man. Like, I mean, when you're doing 3D art and stuff like that, it's not and if you're trying to go for like the celebrity deal or anything like that, and it doesn't look like the celebrity, the likeness or anything, but you get like a different result that it looks like somebody else, and even if this person exists in this world, you know, I mean, that's how can you just how can anybody take that negatively? You know, it's that I mean, I when I said made that comment, that was to the 3D artist right there. That was props. You know, I mean, he doesn't know this person, but then I told him a little bit about her, and like that was it. But I don't see how that could have been a stupid comment, which it doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I mean, but that's 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 just what happened and everything. And I haven't seen any more like a more updated version from the 3D artist. He didn't like he did not like block me or anything like that. I could still see his posts and I could still comment on his posts and stuff. But he did like my critique, like what I had to say, when of that updated look, and yeah, so I told him all of that stuff, uh, and I told him like I don't know, like in that comment, you know, with the critique, I kind of talked about like Jim Lee, the comic book artist that I don't know if he follows comic books or anything like that, but like with Jessica Alba, like the bottom portion of her eyebrows is kind of like a lightning bolt. So Jim Lee, he usually does eyebrows as if it was like a lightning bolt. So I was telling him like that, you know, that portion right there, that's what it's like. If you look carefully, that's what the result is. Um, and then like the top portion of the eyebrows that's a little slanted, going to that point, you know. So I told him all of that. I told like I didn't know what he could have done for the hair, like to get her highlights or something. I don't know too much about that part of the that part with dealing with hair in a program like that. Um, but like how he had the eyelashes, around the eyes. Um, the eyelash was looking like so tarantula-ish, and like tarantula legs or something. And I don't know if there's a way to fix that, but like I said, it's it doesn't really do any good really. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, like I was telling them like around the tear duct, it's kind of like shortish, but then it gets a little larger, like going to that edge, that's between the top and the bottom part of the ocular area of the eyes, So that's what I was telling them and everything. But then like, the bottom portion of your eyelashes are like they were like pretty short-ish. They were pretty short, so it was just mainly like the top portion of her eyelashes was like like from the pupil of her eyes. That's what it was getting at. So it was getting like pretty large from that point on, and then it. So yeah, that was a deal right there, and yeah. So I mean, I have like I even said it myself. Like I have no doubt in that 3D artist's skills. I don't. Um, and and I believe that he can do it. And it's just that I think he had like a little trouble because like figuring out what went where and all that stuff. So it was kind of like especially with the ears, that kind of like told it off. Because if your head is like turned at a certain angle and stuff like that, it was like you won't be able to see that other side of the air. You will see that one side, that's only noticeable, but you might see like a little hint, like a little tip, like a top tip of it of your ear on that other side, But when with the 3D model itself, it was like I said, her the ears were sticking out like Dumbo and whatever. Like it was just that it was so like noticeable and it was a problem. And he had to put that inward because it was literally sticking out, and that wasn't right. So I don't know if he got a few images. I don't think he did. To be honest, I don't. I don't. So I don't think he did do any of that to get like like the side views, and the profile, the three fourths views, and I don't think he did any of that. So that's what was throwing it off because the model was like facing straight, but then like you had that some the symmetry on like and all that stuff, and then you're just doing that. It's making that model like look it didn't look right. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you can't do anything about those other things, like with the eye, well, I don't think he could do anything with the eyelashes or or the highlights of the hair. But I was like, you know what, whatever it is, don't worry about it. As long as you got something, you should be good. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, that's what I told him. With my like little feedback, critique, whatever. So yeah, I I don't know. I'm trying to get this out of my head. With with this guy. Uh, I don't know. I did not. I know what I said. I know what I did, and he was getting it from the horse's mouth, or the the well whatever texting and stuff. But he, he was just reading me wrong um and just took a lot of things negatively, jumping to conclusions and all that crap. Um, so yeah, I'm like, if we would have continued this thing, if this thing would have continued earlier today and stuff like that, I would be like, dude, I don't think I could help you. But yeah, anyways, I mean, I'm just that's just it, you know. Um, anyways, I'll cut this off right now. I'll see you later, man. Thanks. Bye.